the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Number one best-selling author, Ramsey personality, and host of the Ken Coleman Show. Ken Coleman is my co-host today as we talk about your life and your money. Open phones at 888-825-5225. David starts us off this hour in Dallas. Hi, David. How are you?
Hi, good. This is awesome. Thanks for talking to me.
Absolutely. How can we help?
Yeah, so I am. I need some advice. I'm 29 years old. When I was younger, I made some poor academic choices, so I don't have any, useful degree or really any good skills for the job market. So a few years ago, things turned around, and I got married, and I moved to Switzerland, where my wife is from, and I landed a good job there. I was just really fortunate at a good company, and my plan was to stay there and just work my way up, and that was going to be my life. Unfortunately, about 3 months ago, something happened, and my wife and I got divorced, so I moved back to the States. I moved to Dallas to be around friends that are, supportive. And that's where I am now. So I am an adult. I am living at a friend's house. I don't really own any possessions. I don't have any money, no car. I'm starting over here. And I do not want to live, I don't want to be at retirement age, still living paycheck to paycheck. I'm willing to do pretty much whatever it takes. If it's going back to school or whatever, I need an actual career, and I need to learn how to properly manage my finances. But I have no idea where to start with any of this. I'm at a crossroads here in my life, so I'm wondering what advice you would have or what you guys would do in my situation.
Well, the first thing I would do if I were you is get a job. And it doesn't have to be anywhere remotely close to what you might think a dream job is. It may not even be a great job, but it's a good job, meaning it's in a decent environment and you are somewhat valued or respected, right? And you're able to make some money. I think this is crucial because you've just gone through some enormously difficult emotional stuff, relationship stuff. And I love that you've landed in a safe place with some friends, but you need to get out and start doing something. And I don't think it's the cure-all. I want to be very careful. I don't think that work is the silver bullet, but I do believe, and the data shows us, that when a person is doing something productive, and in this case, it's earning a paycheck, getting you to a place where you can get financially stable, get out of your friend's house and off their couch, and living on your own, is going to do wonders for the healing process. It's not the healing process, but it's going to do wonders. So I think that's the first thing. And so once I do that, then I'm going to start to say, okay, now that I'm getting some breathing room, I want to get my financial house in order. I'm going to come up with a plan, and we've got the plan here through the baby steps. Now I'm looking towards, what do I really want to do? What work is meaningful for me? What results motivate me? Now, I want to call something out, and I know you're down on yourself, but I want to encourage you. You started off the phone call by saying you didn't have any skills that were transferable, but that's completely untrue because you worked successfully in Switzerland. True or false?
Yeah, that's correct.
So let's get rid of that.
What were you doing there?
I worked for a company doing running their social media and editing videos.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did.
Did you suck?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
So let's go there first.
I mean, really. So you know how to edit and do social media. I think that's a valuable skill. Yeah. So never again are you allowed to say, I don't have any valuable skills.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? Because Ken's right. It's just not true.
Okay. I've been since I got here, I've been doing whatever I can to earn money. My issue is because I grew up with hardworking parents, but far under the poverty line. So my fear is that I don't advance. I don't. I want to financially be set when I'm a little older.
Well,
that's my concern.
Step one is get off the street.
Yeah.
And get a car.
Yeah.
And so step one is go do anything and a lot of it to pile up some money.
Yep.
Right? Anything that's legal and moral, you need to be doing like 60 or 80 hours of that, or three things. And so you can get you a little pile of money, get off the street, get a couch, get a bed, get a car, And then we can start talking about self-actualizing and moving into the career of your dreams and becoming, moving from paycheck to purpose, as Ken's book says, and we'll send you a copy of that. And as you're doing that, then you just keep listening to this podcast, and we'll walk you through with the Ramsey materials and Financial Peace University, those kinds of things, how to handle the money once you got some. But right now, you just got to get sustainability, right?
Right. Okay.
And from your background, it's the tapes that are playing in your head that I want to, that earning a little money will shut those tapes off. I'm going to be below the poverty line. I'm going to be stuck here. No, you're not. I mean, you can do social media and you can edit videos and you're freaking in Dallas, Texas. I mean, come on. There's about a bazillion things you can do there that will earn you $50,000 to $100,000 a year starting tomorrow. Ready, set, go. Okay, go.
Okay.
You are not going to be your childhood. You're just simply not. But you've had the crap kicked out of you, and so those little boy tapes play in your head during your pain time, and that's just normal. We all have those. We all have those. The doubting Thomas that sits on our shoulder, right? And he's particularly loud. She's particularly loud when other people have rejected you, like your wife.
That's a very good point, and I'm going to tell you something that's happening to you, David. When your wife, whatever reason, decides to not be married to you anymore, there's a personal worth that gets attacked.
Yeah.
And that personal worth can translate over to professional worth. And I think, Dave, you're absolutely spot on. That's a natural thing. Sure. Does it make you weak? Does it make you weird? You're human, and you're hurting.
Yeah, I went through bankruptcy, and 28 years old, I'm sitting there thinking, you're the king of the doofuses.
Right.
And it took me a little while to turn in my crown.
I like that. It's true,
I kind of was. I kind of deserved the crown, but I just didn't decide that's not going to be my identity for the rest of my life. It's just going to be something I went through.
It was
these things can define you.
Yeah.
Or these things that happen to us in our lives. These things, sometimes we cause them, sometimes we don't. But this crap that we all walk through from time to time in our lives. Don't let it be like, who are you? Oh, I'm a guy that got divorced. No, you're not. You're just a guy.
Yeah.
And you got divorced. Yeah. I mean, you're not you're not defined by this process. So, I'm not defined by bankruptcy. It's just one of the things that happened in my life.
That's right. And you're not a guy who is destined to be poor because his parents were.
No, or file bankruptcy or whatever, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Hang on. We're going to send you a copy of Ken's book. Paycheck to Purpose. We're also going to sign you up for his assessment. Take that. It'll help you assess what your strengths are and maybe where some directions you can go. But dude, go plug into some marketing and social media positions, some digital marketing positions. They're all over Dallas. People are hiring like crazy, and you should be able to jump into something pretty quick. Plus, 80 hours of Uber Eats, or you can't do Uber Eats, you don't have a car. But whatever. I mean, go find something to do where you're working your tail end off and pile you up $5,000 or $10,000 to get the wolf away from the door. This is the Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Well, folks, we hope that the information you get here, the inspiration you get here, is helpful to you. That's why we've been doing this show for 30-something years, and it has proven to be helpful to millions of people. And if it has, you could help us. We'd appreciate it. If you're listening on YouTube or one of the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, whatever, you can subscribe. That helps the algorithms and helps spread the word about the show. You can share the show, meaning link it to whatever you're listening and send it out. And you could even just say, hey, I listened to it on this talk radio station, and share with your friends. Tell people about us. We would appreciate that. That's very, very helpful. You are our number one promotional outlet. And so word of mouth is how this show has grown. It's how it's prospered. It's how it's survived. And so if you want to be of help to us, that's what you're doing. You could leave a review in places where you can, and as long as it's a 5-star review, we really don't need the other ones, but thank you. Coleman, the layoffs are out there. We had this huge shortage of labor, kind of still do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely still do.
It's a weird stagflation economy that we're in, really. A shortage of labor, and yet a recession is blooming.
Yep.
Appears to be.
Being predicted.
The Fed had asked for this. They're trying to cause it, and I think they're pulling it off. So a lot of large publicly traded companies are laying people off. Last Monday night, the night before Thanksgiving, United Furniture makes Lane Furniture, sent an email to all 2,700 workers at their Mississippi plant, and they went home on Monday from work and got an email or a text saying don't come back tomorrow.
Most woke up in the morning. The email went out late at night and woke up the next morning. You're done. Don't even come in. No warning.
Asurion here in Nashville has laid off a couple thousand layoffs, a couple thousand people different times. Facebook has announced that the company's going to be laying off 11,000 employees, 13% of its workforce. Of course, Musk laid off half of Twitter for whatever reason, 3,700 jobs there. Amazon laid off 10,000 workers, marking the largest job cuts in the company's history. Rideshare company Lyft laid off 13% of its staff, 700 workers. Earlier this month, fintech Stripe announced it would lay off 14% of its workforce, 1,100 employees. Online real estate broker Redfin laid off 862 workers, about 13% of its workforce. Salesforce, the enterprise software company, cut hundreds of workers last week, and the company's stock has dropped about 38% in value. Layoffs, they are out there.
They are, but it is important to hear because you just heard Dave walk through a list, and the media is playing this up big time because it makes you click. But you need to understand something. What is common among that list and among the other large layoffs over the last 90 days is anticipation. These companies are laying people off in anticipation of a recession. Most of these companies are publicly held companies. So they are thinking about their stock price. It's a different game than small business in America. So what they will do is they will hire up and staff up. So you hear Amazon laying off tens of thousands of workers. Why?
So, let's just translate that, okay? These publicly traded companies are buttholes. Okay, because here's what they're doing. All right, let me tell you why Salesforce, in their press release, Salesforce said they laid these people off to increase profits.
That's exactly right. It's about the stock price.
Simply increasing profits. And so, I mean, what that tells, I mean, so you didn't need them when you hired them? They weren't going to make you money when you hired them? Oh, no. They were going to make us money. But one way to increase profits is to slash the payroll line on the P&L temporarily, and it temporarily makes us look like we're more profitable, although there's not people to do the work that causes us to be more profitable later.
That's correct.
So we rehire later, and so it's corporate America being buttholes. They're all they're doing is they're creating false profit. Mm-hmm. No pun intended.
I like that.
False profit that didn't come from generating revenues and doing a better job. Profit that came from cutting an expense that you actually needed, an investment that you actually needed in order to appear to be more profitable.
That's right.
And they do that on the backs of you in America. And some of you, you're really having the great regret because some of you left a job with a company that actually was a pretty good company to make $15,000 or $20,000 more over at publicly traded Jerkwadville.
That's right.
And they told you could work from home, and guess who got laid off first at all these companies? All the research we're seeing coming in, the number one, there are two types of people that got laid off. The last one's hired and the ones that are working from home.
That's correct. That's exactly right. The data says that. That's not our opinion. That's what the data says. And the reason, you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And Dave, you're absolutely right. You look
out of your mind.
That's right. You look at Amazon, for instance. So Amazon, it came out early this year, an internal memo from one of their executives. They were worried about being able to actually hire people in multiple cities of the U.S. because they had burned through available workers. They treat people like commodities. And Dave's exactly right. The minute that a recession might be looming, what do? It's about the almighty dollar and the stock price. And we're not against capitalism. We love it. And I'm all for profit. But the fact of the matter is, Dave, you're exactly right. They begin to diminish people, and they go, all right, you are just a number on a spreadsheet. We don't care about you. It was all about the stock price. It's all about profit. So when consumers are buying more, we hire
I announced to our 1,100 people last week that our profits are down this year because our costs are up. And as a result, we are laying off precisely no one. Because we wouldn't have freaking hired you in the first place if we didn't need you. And I'm not going to put more money in my pocket as the owner and increase my profits by dumping you in the street at the first sign of a black cloud.
Yep.
Because I'm like a human and I like other humans and treat them like people, not like robots that can be thrown in the ditch the first time something comes up.
That's right.
And that's how small business operates by and large. You don't hear small businesses going, oh, we're going to lay people off so I can make more profit.
Yeah.
People that own small businesses don't do that.
And as a matter of fact, right now, Dave, small businesses are looking to hire. They can't find people to hire. It's the exact difference. They're trying to grow their business, and Amazon and the big public companies are trying to just grow their stock price.
Yeah.
Big difference.
So corporate America has always, and this is not against capitalism. By corporate America, I mean big companies with no heart, no soul. And some big companies have a heart and soul. Some little companies don't have a heart and soul. But I'm talking when I say corporate America, I mean these companies that treat people, they treat the customer like a unit of revenue. They treat, so you know you're a number when you're a customer of Bank of America. Bank of America sucks. If you're a customer of Bank of America, you know they couldn't care less whether you live or die. You are a number. It's all they care about. As a customer, you're a unit of revenue. And by the way, if you work there, you're a unit of production. And there's no humanity in a company like that. None whatsoever. Now, again, it's not based solely on size, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And so what this is a warning on behalf of the Ken Coleman movement to get a job, get a career, make a move if you want to make a move for more money. If you want to, that's great. I got no issue with that. For a better opportunity, for an area that's where you are functioning in your sweet spot, in your purpose.
Yep.
But don't be going solely based on money. I'm going to hold my nose and move over to some company that has a value system that I can't stand. They're so woke, I can't sleep.
That's right.
And I don't want to be around these people. And you're going to run over there and jump in the middle of that septic tank and hold your nose and hope you don't get screwed. Well, of course you're going to get screwed.
That's exactly right. Here's what happens. The paycheck and the promotion wear off when you, the person, know that you're in the wrong pool. You just know it's not right. It will eat away at you. Your soul will slowly slip out of your body. Where you work matters.
Yeah. So, yes, go make more money. Yes, get into something that is your purpose. But don't have an existential crisis because during COVID you suddenly decided someday you're going to die. No kidding. And so now I have to go make more money. I'm burnt out. I'm going to work from home part-time and get paid for full-time. You're going to be the first one in the ditch, baby. And that's what's happening right now. This is The Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. All right, after ranting about layoffs by corporate America, we go in the commercial break, and Coleman tells me this story that curled both the hairs that I have left. Tell me about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a setup. Okay.
That was an underhand pitch.
Yeah. I thought
For God's sake, swing.
I thought you were going. Yeah, here we go. So, a guy who was the CEO at the time, he's since been relieved of his duties, thankfully, of a company called Better.com. And here's the irony. That's the name of the company. He laid off several thousand people from his kitchen over Zoom. No previous warning. None of their managers talking to them, company-wide Zoom, and he decided to lay off that many people and then gave them instructions. Hey, we'll be in touch. Your leader will be in touch with you soon to explain the terms of you leaving. But he just dropped it on them in his kitchen via Zoom. And what was the best part of it, Dave, is about halfway through he got choked up because it was so difficult to do. And I just wanted your take on that. And I'm trying not to question his sincerity, but to do it that way.
Well, you don't have to question his sincerity, but you can question his character.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a guy. I mean, it suddenly occurred to him that he just dumped thousands of people in the street halfway through the call.
I mean, exactly.
Dude, you were never a leader in the first place. You shouldn't have been in that seat. You're not qualified.
That's not even real communication, Dave.
That's just that's what's called. Cowardice. That's what you call it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm a freaking coward. Yeah, that's what
it's like he was ripping the Band-Aid off for him.
Yeah.
Not for them.
Exactly. So here's the thing. Do sometimes companies reach a point that they are not profitable or are approaching that and have to, as a mathematical necessity, let people go? Yeah, we were facing that potentially during COVID. We didn't know what we were going to have. I mean, we had tens of millions of dollars of revenue in certain areas, like, for instance, doing live events. You remember when you stopped doing that suddenly? Remember when I canceled a cruise in the middle of March of 2020? Yeah, that was handy. So when the revenue just evaporates and there's no money, then you can't pay people. Then you've got to lay them off. But there's a couple things that go with that. This is not laying people off just to increase your profits, which is about as corporate America as it gets. Okay, so there's a couple things that go with these problems. Number one, the factory in Mississippi laying off 2,700, the Duber from Better, give me a break, laying people off from Zoom from his kitchen table suddenly with no warning. Those two had shared one thing in common. They knew they were in trouble
Absolutely.
A long time before they laid those people off.
That's correct.
So you owe your team information that's accurate.
Yeah.
Well, they might leave. Dumb butt, you're getting ready to lay them off, okay? Right. I mean, seriously, of course they might leave because you're announcing that the ship is taking on water. We think we can stay afloat, but we got a leak over here. And you go in and tell these guys this like months before, because you know it months before.
Yeah.
You know what's going on. And so, number one, lots and lots and lots of clear, open, authentic communication early. and often. This is what you do if you're a real leader in a company, regardless of the size of the company. And then the second thing is you do not lay people off in order to line your own pockets. These are people that have lives. They have kids and dogs and husbands and wives and college funds. And I mean, you don't build your personal fortune on the backs of laying people off that trusted you by coming to work for you. That's morally wrong.
That's right.
Okay, that's wrong. And so, it's not a legal issue at all. But A, you need to give them notice, lots and lots of open communication, lots of notice. B, do sometimes then you actually have to do this because it's an arithmetic thing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes you have to. And then you should feel it.
Yeah. Treat people
not
with
halfway
dignity.
through a Zoom call.
That's right. It's dignity. It's the difference between I'm on a Zoom and I had no warning and all of a sudden, bam, I'm not sitting there with my leader, able to process the information and ask questions. I've just been hit right in the forehead and there's nothing I can do about it.
All right, changing the subject. Julianne is with us in Santa Rosa, California. Hi, Julianne. How are you?
Well, hello, Dave and Ken. Thanks so much for taking my call. Your show is a real blessing. Thank you.
How can we help?
So I am 63 years old, and pardon me, I make about $64,000 a year. I've got $18,000 in credit card debt. I'm looking to retire at 68. Ken, I've listened to you talk about that you have a passion for what you do, and well, I don't think I'm in that group, but I do work in a government position, and I will be getting a pension, so that is why I'm there. I'm looking, as I said, I'm looking to retire at 68. And my question is, I have about $100,000 in combined 401k and a SARSEP, and when I retire, the two pensions I'll get plus my Social Security from a higher paying job before will equal pretty much what I'm making now, but my
you
question
qualify
is,
for those pensions now, don't you?
No, I don't. The one pension was with a law firm, and I have to wait till I'm 65 to get that.
Okay, what about the other one?
And the other one, I don't quite have 5 years in yet, so no, I can't get that either.
When is the 5
If
years?
I stop at 5 within the next 6 months or so, but that will be a lot less than if I wait another 5 years, which is why I was going to retire at 68. Then that'll make me eligible for Social Security as well. My Social Security is at 66 to 10 months, but I figure 68 will put 10 years in at my government job, and then I would use the money as I need. And the $100,000 in the combined 401k and SARSEP. I live in affordable housing, so I have no property or anything.
What's your question?
My question is how do I leverage getting the most out of my situation?
Be more specific. What do you mean? What are you trying to leverage?
I'm trying to have a better standard of living when I retire. Because before I retire, I need to pay off the $18,000 in credit card. I don't know how I'm going to do that. And then I also, I have a beater van from when my mom days. Of course, I don't have that anymore. And so I was looking to get one more car for like my forever car. And I don't know how I'm going to make all that happen.
Sure
and
you do.
Get free
Sure
in
you do.
5 years.
Sure you do. Well, that's why you called. Dave's going to help you. But I'm going to give you the formula, though, so that you can get your head right. Number one, you need to pay off your debt. And you might need to supplement your income right now to make that happen faster. And then you're going to be fine. But you got to pay off this debt.
And I was thinking about that. Thank you. And I work full time. And I don't know how I've listened to the side hustles
Overtime.
and all of that. And I'm trying
You work 40 hours.
Overtime is your answer.
They aren't. They
Full
won't pay
time is
overtime.
80.
No, I work 40 hours a week.
I know.
That's 8 hours, 5 days a week, and they don't pay overtime. They will not authorize it.
I know. So go get a job working doing something else in addition to this. Work more.
Hey, that's my only option. Yeah.
Oh, you have another option. Continue to stay broke.
No, it's depressing. It really is, and I don't want to be depressed.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I would work in addition, because I work 8 to 5, 5 days a week. And like I said, I'm 63. I'm not 23, but
So am I.
So
You're not an invalid.
I work all the time. I mean, I'm 63. I 16-hour days if I need to. I'm It's entirely possible. I don't like doing it either, but I mean, there's sometimes I have to get crap done, and so you got $18,000 worth of debt in a junky van. You got to fix these things, and you're going to need more money. You're going to tighten the budget that you've got, and you're going to have to increase your income. And
you need financial peace. We've got the process for you. Walk it through. You're discouraged. You need to get determined. This is not an unsolvable situation. We have the steps.
Yeah. Hang on. We'll give you a copy of the book Total Money Makeover and show you exactly what to do. But you're going to have to increase your income. Yep. And you're going to have to decrease your outgo. So stuff you're spending money on while you're sitting around, other than your 40 hours of work, you're not going to be able to spend money on that anymore because you're not going to be sitting around anymore. There you go. This is The Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Hey, we have a blast giving away a ton of cash in the Ramsey Christmas Cash Giveaway this month. The giveaway ends very soon. You need to enter now if you want a chance to win. Now, we've been giving away $500 a week, and right now you can enter every day to increase your chances to win the grand prize, which is $5,000, which we're going to be giving away in just a few days. There's no purchase necessary. You got to be 18 years old or older. Go to RamseySolutions.com. While you're there, check out the kids sale. Get prices as low as $10 on stuff like the Teen Entrepreneur Toolbox, the Graduate Survival Guide, Questions for Humans conversation cards. Lots and lots and lots of our books are $10, like almost all of them. We are having the opposite of inflation at the Ramsey website. So no one told our marketing team that there's inflationary economy. So and apparently we are going to just sell the crap out of stuff at a deal. So Ramsey Cash Giveaway and the sale both end very soon. Do not wait. Go to RamseySolutions.com. Victoria is with us in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Victoria. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my husband and I need some advice so we don't make a stupid decision here. So my husband and I have a small townhome. Our monthly payment is so cheap. It is under $1,000, which is crazy for Tampa, Florida right now. Our townhome is super basic. It's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, no garage. And our plan was to pay it off. And we're so close to it. We have about $50,000 in savings. And we owe about $112,000 in our home. If we put that money towards our home, we would owe about $60,000. And we could easily tackle that in less than 2 years. The thing is, though, we had a baby a few months ago, and I work hybrid. Our home feels too tight, and I am afraid I will not be able to buy another home if the price goes higher right now. So we could upgrade to a 3-bedroom and a garage, and by selling our home and putting all of our savings and whatever money we make from this home towards this other option we have, we would potentially put down 50%, and our monthly payment would be about $300 more than what we pay right now in our current home. Now, my question is, in what circumstance is it okay to not pay off your home? At this point, is it better to just upgrade or just like suck it up and stick around?
So, Victoria, I've got a question. I've got a question before Dave answers the money piece. What makes the house feel cramped with a newborn? And I want you to be specific, and I'm not picking on you. I want you to really tell me what makes it feel cramped.
They're not that big.
Yes. So it is a 2-bedroom and 2.5 bath. So right now, in order for me to not quit my job, my mom moved in with us to help with the baby for about a year. So she's still going to stay with us for a few more months.
She takes up room.
Yeah, I feel like...
Okay, now you got me on that one. I didn't see that one coming.
One room for her Baby is staying with us, yeah. Baby is staying with us in the bedroom, which it's fine right now. And we don't have a garage. So literally, like, we walk into the house, I am literally storing,
here's the answer. Here's the answer. Here's what you're facing, Victoria. Okay. At the end of your story, when you get to retirement, you want to have had a paid-for house for many years before you get there, and as a result of not having a house payment, a huge pile of money. Okay, that's what we're aiming at. We're agreed on that. Okay. Now the question is, how do we have a life that's reasonable and under control, and still accomplish having paid off the house early and creating a big pile of money in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, right? How old are you?
I'm 31. My husband
okay.
is 30.
So if you go and move up in house, it's not an evil thing. You're not doing anything wrong. We tell you not to take out a mortgage more than a fourth of your take-home pay, household take-home pay, on a 15-year fixed. And so if you sell your home and you take the $50,000 and you put enough down and the mortgage that you take out meets those guidelines, you're perfectly fine. Now, why do we tell you those guidelines? Because we want you to pay it off for your sake. Okay, but it's okay to move up in property and at your age with the idea that we're going to turn around and start paying it off as fast as we can, because the faster we get it paid off, the wealthier we're going to be.
Right.
So it's not like you need Dave's permission to get a bigger house. It ain't got anything to do with me. It's got to do with you need give yourself permission to get a bigger house, which is going to slow down your wealth building a little bit, because now you got a bigger mortgage to get paid off before you get rich, right?
Right.
But you're trading that for a little better quality of life, 3 bedrooms and a garage and some stuff like that, and a place to camp mom for a little while. She's probably not going to be there forever, though. Kid grows up, things move on, right? But still, it's okay to move out of a 2-bedroom, no garage townhouse in Tampa, Florida. You can probably afford to make that move up with the large equity and the down payment and all that kind of stuff you're putting together. You're probably fine to do that. But, you know, the thing you don't want to do is get in the mindset of most Americans, which is, I'm just going to buy whatever I want whenever I want. I'm going to spend like I'm in Congress. And then I'm going to retire broke and hope the government, which is well known for its ability to handle money, will take care of me. And see, just don't drop over on that side of the bucket, because that's where people drown, right? Mm-hmm. That's where you get killed. So, you know, the fact that you're fretting about this is a positive, because it makes you realize you're not going to do it over and over and over again. Because some people, the way they celebrate getting a raise is they go get a bigger car payment.
It's what most people are doing. You know,
and that's not, you know, so what am I going to do? I'm going to go further in debt. Well, that's dumber than crud, because it takes you exactly the wrong direction. Now, in her case, she's not doing that. Right. That's not what's going on. So I think you're perfectly fine to make that move, but you do whatever you want. As long as you're couching it in the concept of, I want to get my house paid off, because the faster I get my house paid off, the wealthier I'm going to be, and the more generous I can be, and the more I can change my family tree. And those things are all tied together mathematically. It's arithmetic. Hatton is with us. Hatton is in Oklahoma City. Hi, Hatton. What's up?
I'm doing well, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Okay, so I am 24 years old. I'm currently living in southwestern Oklahoma, and I have gotten myself into some debt. I had put some debt on a credit card, and I had run the amount up pretty highly, and I had decided to take out an unsecured loan with a local bank to get a lower interest rate, and I was looking to see how you would be able to advise me to pay this debt off as quickly as possible.
So you have the credit card debt, or you have the personal loan now?
I took the loan out at the bank.
Okay, so how much do you owe on the personal loan?
$7,250.
Did you chop up the stupid butt credit card?
I had a plastectomy at my future mother-in-law's house a couple of weeks ago.
Phenomenal. That's a good place to celebrate that. Makes her smile. Good.
Yes.
You might be able to take care of my daughter, because you're getting the scissors across the card. Good. All right. Good. $7,200. What do you make?
This next year, I could be making anywhere between $39,000 and $41,000 a year before taxes.
What do you do?
I work as a minister.
Good for you. Okay.
You need an extra job. My dad was a pastor, and my brother and I, he put us in a small Christian school. We needed more money, and he was limited because he was a pastor, and he went and worked on a construction crew for 3 months. You got to do that. $7,200 is nothing for a 24-year-old who wants to work.
All right.
Yeah, go make $2,000 a month for 3 or 4 months, and you'll be done. But I mean, you'll be you'll be tired and cold. But you can do that when you're 24. It's okay. You can do it when you're 64. It's okay. You know, used to work for a guy. He said, hard work won't kill you. Right before you die, you pass out. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.
From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. This is the Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman is my co-host today, host of the Ken Coleman Show, and author of the #1 best-selling book, From Paycheck to Purpose. Our phone number is 888-825-5225. Merry Christmas, America. We're glad you're with us. Zach is with us in Huntsville. Hi, Zach. What's up?
Not much. The blanket question is I'm trying to figure out if it's worth staying at a lease purchase trucking company as an employer or when I should decide to move on to something else. Details for why I took this job to begin with. A number of truckers suggested I do this because overall it does double my income in a normal market, even after all the payments and stuff like that. I'm allowed to walk away at any time, so I'm not obligated to pay a large balloon payment at the end of the lease or in order to get away from it or anything like a car lease. I can walk away at any time. If they fire me, I don't owe anything on the truck, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, so you're a truck driver, and the deal with this employer is you lease your truck from them with no obligation to continue leasing it, and then they give you loads.
Yeah, pretty much. I lease it as a condition of working here. I got to lease the truck. I don't have. Trying to get through this without stuttering. To work here, I lease the truck.
Yeah, I got that.
At the end of the lease, I can pay it off, or I can save up money. I can come in with my own truck as long as it meets their specifications and my own trailer paid off, and I can still work for them. Mm-hmm. That's the goal I was aiming for, because in a normal market, it does actually pay double what I normally make as a company driver, and I had that for the first few paychecks, but the freight market is just tanking right now. It's hard to find anything that pays more than $250 a mile in the networks that we operate under, and from other truck drivers I hear it's pretty well that way across the board. So I've not been able to make that, not by the fault of the company, but the market's just tanked. So
when you lease the truck, you're paying a lease payment. Are you also responsible for insurance and maintenance and fuel? Insurance and stuff, yes. The fuel, they got two programs.
got an 80-20 program where I'm in charge of fuel and tolls if I'm on that, or they got a 50-50 program where they will pay for the fuel and the tolls, and then I just got the truck payment, trailer payment, and the insurance, and just a couple other small charges that really, which technically those last few, they don't go away even if I own my truck.
Well,
Right,
Zach,
that's
here's
right.
the deal. Twice in this phone call, you've mentioned in a normal market, then you explained what's actually happening with the market. The market's changed, and I think you have to change. And the good news is it doesn't sound like there's a penalty for you to change.
The hang up I have is I've had this goal for a long time. And it changed on me so quickly. I'm not sure what
You
to
had
do
what?
next.
You had what goal?
The goal to be an owner-operator.
Yeah, to own the truck and be under my own authority, so I have more leverage. Because like if I work at a company, typically it's 2 to 3 weeks out, and then you get a day off for home time for every day that you're out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is this
based
a
on some?
is
go ahead.
this a storm that you need to weather, and can you weather it, or is this a function of the mountaintop is still the same? It's still the same goal, but I got to climb the mountain a different way. A weather pattern's come in, and I got to change course. It's either A or B. What's the situation?
I'm thinking that it's a storm that I might have to weather.
Okay, what are you
I hate
what are you
making this
making
point.
after all your payments coming out of your pocket? What are you walking away with net right now?
I've been making $1,000 to $1,500 a week.
Well, you can make that
It
drive.
varies
You make
depending
more than
on how
that
the
driving
freight's
for
doing that
somebody
week.
else.
That's a fact. You can make that driving a local route for a larger company.
$50,000 a year.
Yeah, roughly. And that's the reason I mentioned the normal market. I have testimony from drivers that work for this exact same company. Before the market started going down, they were netting $3,000. A few of them were netting $5,000 a week after everything was said and done.
Right, but it's changed. So you have to sit back and say, is this company, this particular situation, the only way for me to get to my ultimate goal? And the answer is it's not the only way.
So, a question. How old are you?
29.
And you married? Kids?
Unfortunately divorced and no kids.
Okay. All right. So, what would I do if I woke up in your shoes, based on the information you've given me, if I understand the situation, and I may not, okay? But I've worked with people driving truck for years, doing what I do, and we're on Sirius XM, so 1,000 years ago we started having a huge trucker following to this show. So I learned a little bit about the business just because I've been around the people doing it, doing the hard work that you're doing. So anyway, what I would do is I would go to work for someone on a regular employment position right now, and I'd work like a crazy person, live on nothing, and pile up cash like crazy. If the market turns, you can come back to this model 3 years from now. If you can make 3 times as much 3 years from now, but today you're not making even what you can make for somebody else.
Yeah, fair point.
And if you can jump out, you can jump back in. So jump out, go get a job making, and go do 3 weeks and just pile up money, man, and towards buying a truck. And then get you a good used truck, and if it doesn't meet their specs, well, who gives a crap? All you got to do is get the stuff there, and you go book your own loads. Get a broker and book your own loads. And so I know lots of guys that have saved up their first $20,000-$25,000, get their tractor, and they pull other people's trailers, and then they finally get them a trailer, and then they move up from a $25,000, $30,000 tractor up into like an $80,000. And then, because you can, as you know, you can spend a freaking $500,000. There's no ROI on that at all, except thinking you're pretty at a stoplight. It's as dumb as driving a car that does that. So you don't want to do that. You want to do the truck that gets the job done and doesn't leave you broken on the side of the road and isn't eating fuel like a. So yeah, I'm going to save up money, get my first truck. That's what I'm going to do. And what's the fastest way to do that? Right now, it's working for somebody else.
That's right. So Zach, what we're saying is we're not changing the dream. We're changing the course to get to the dream.
Yeah.
That's all. We're just going to change
and
course.
if you can triple your income 3 years from now by coming back to this model,
jump back,
and you're not quite got your money saved up to buy a truck,
fantastic.
Then do it.
Yeah.
But the idea that you have to provide a truck that meets their specs later on, that sounds like maybe you need to have a wider net. for the truck that you're driving than this one company who's going to dictate what you drive. I don't think I'm playing that game. You should decide what you're going to drive based on what makes good business sense and what you can pay cash for. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. It is Christmas time, and with the new year coming out, we've got the new Increase Your Income bundle. Ken?
Yeah, this is fun, Dave. So what if you could get paid to do work that you're really good at and that you enjoy? And this bundle is going to include my new book, the #1 bestseller, From Paycheck to Purpose, our very popular Get Clear Career Assessment, and then the Get Hired digital course, including the resume templates, and you get all of this for only $49.99. That's 50% off. I didn't approve that, Dave. I didn't approve that steep of a discount.
That's ridiculous.
That's an unbelievable discount. Speaking of increasing your income, the Ramsey Christmas Cash giveaway ends soon, so make sure you folks go to RamseySolutions.com/giveaway and enter every day to increase your chances to win the $5,000 grand prize. Dave is like the real life Santa Claus. Every year we give away a lot of money. By the way, no purchase necessary, and you do have to be 18 or older to win. That's RamseySolutions.com/giveaway. So head to RamseySolutions.com. There's all kinds of goodies there.
Oh, all kinds of bargains. Jeff is with us. Jeff's in Springfield, Missouri. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for taking my call, Dave.
Sure. What's up?
I over the last 5 years, I lost my job and took a pay cut of about $50,000. I've since, in the last year, I brought my income back to where I was before this happened. But over the last 5 years, I've also had a failing business, and I built up quite a bit of credit card debt, $110,000. My wife and I, we make about $115,000 a year, but we have $110,000 in credit card debt between the business and ourselves, and we're strapped. We're contemplating bankruptcy, looking at all of our options. We're doing what we can do with your every dollar plan on the budget, things like that, but we've quite frankly just started that. And I'm just looking for some advice. 52 years old.
What kind of business was it?
It was a house flipping business.
You got any of them left?
I'm in the middle of one right now, but it's out of all the houses we've done, this has been the worst house, and it's eating us alive.
You gonna make a profit on it when you flip it?
Maybe a little. I mean,
what do you owe on it?
510. We owe about 115, and it's probably worth 140 to 150.
Okay. When's it going on the market?
Hopefully in the next week or so.
Good. What do you owe on your home?
I owe $300,000. It's worth $500,000. We built it about 18 years ago and have a lot of sweat equity in it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
of the $115,000 income you told us, is that your wife, I'm assuming, or do you have or is this?
You said you got a new good job.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. No, my job is really good. Pays well. My wife works and does does well also for this area.
So overall, flipping houses, you have lost when all the smoke cleared $110,000.
Between that and then my job, my salary. I mean, we were living on credit cards for a while.
Okay. All right. So, but the bottom line was the overall business model of flipping houses, you lost money on it.
And mainly that's been the last 2 years since COVID.
Okay.
And this house has really been a disaster.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So.
And how old did you say you were again? 52, you said. Yeah. Okay.
52.
Right.
Yeah.
The good news is you're not bankrupt. The bad news is you're scared and you're beat up.
Absolutely.
And when we're scared and when we're beat up, we tend to we have more of a tendency to make bad decisions because we're kind of in a fog. You're in the forest, can't see the trees kind of thing. Been there myself. I know how it feels. It's hard to think clear because everything's just overwhelming you, this idea of just surviving. Does that sound familiar?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to hurt your feelings and hurt your wife's feelings even more. But you can pay the credit card debt. You just got to sell your house.
I understand that.
And here's the bad news. I don't know the rule in Missouri, but in every state except Texas and Florida, you can't keep this much equity in bankruptcy. Because what happens is they have a homestead exemption when you file Chapter 7 bankruptcy. There's a homestead exemption, which is the amount of your equity that you get to keep. And anything above that that's substantial, they're going to force the sale of the house to pay your creditors. So Correct. You might as well pay them. So are you behind on the credit cards?
No, we are current. We've called them and got reduced monthly payments, and
Good.
We've canceled all the credit cards.
Good. So what I would do, having been through what you're going through, except with zeros on the end, and I was 28, I wasn't 52, but I still remember being so freaking scared I couldn't breathe. What I would do if I were you is I would fight like a wild man to not have to sell my house. Let's pretend you pay a bunch of credit cards late over the next 3 years, and it messes up your credit, but you become debt-free except the house. I would do that. Okay. And by the way, $115,000 income, $30,000 a year, you can do for 3 years, $40,000 a year for 3 years, you can do it on $115,000 income. You got no life, but you get to keep your house. Yeah. No life during that 3 years. Yeah. And you're probably going to be working extra doing something else.
Well,
and you're going to be selling everything you can get your hands on, including this junky butt house you're getting ready to get rid of.
Jeff, how much time, ballpark, are you spending per week on this house that you're trying to flip?
It's almost gone, yeah.
On the house, flip house?
How many hours beyond your work are you spending on this flip house?
Probably 25 hours a week.
Yeah.
All right. So today's point, Harold, I'm trying to give you some hope. I agree with Dave. I get rid of that house quickly as possible. And now we're done with that. And now that 25 hours I've been spending on that sinkhole, I'm going to spend the 25 hours because you're a pretty handy guy. You could pick up some really nice paying work with your skills. True or false?
Yes.
The answer is true.
I've been doing side hustles.
I know. My point is,
listen, you either do that or you sell your house.
Yeah. And I'd keep the house, work the extra 25 hours and pay the
I'd hustle my way through this and pay $40,000 or $50,000 a year on this debt and be done with it in 2.5 years. That's my plan.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
That's what how I'd get after that. And so so here's the thing. We just said there's two possible paths that's not bankrupt. And by the way, bankrupt won't work. You're going to lose your house in bankruptcy.
Yeah.
They're going to take it and pay your creditors because you have so much equity. Unless I'm wrong, I don't know. Again, off the top of my head, you could ask Google. You can do it as soon as you get off. I could do it live if I knew how to run Google. But
that's okay.
Google what the homestead exemption for Missouri is. But I'm betting you that it's probably 10, 20, 30 grand. Something like that, and you got $200,000.
It's 15, and I would have to go Chapter 13. Is how I.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you're not Chapter 13 is Chapter 13 is a payment plan, and you pay the creditors.
Yeah. I know.
And so, well, just pay them.
You got this, Jeff.
Even if you pay them late. Chapter 13 destroys your credit. Paying them late destroys your credit. Whoopee. Destroy your credit. Who gives a crap? We're talking about bankruptcy here. We're talking about you keeping your house. We're talking about you turning the corner on this putting this chapter of your life that sucks in the rearview mirror. So me, the path I'm taking, I'm going to work like a maniac for the next 3 years. I'm going to get rid of this stupid house in the next 30 days, even if I break even on it so I can get my life back. And then I'm going to tear into these credit cards, working the debt snowball, smallest to largest. And you're not bankrupt. You just got a sucky 2.5 years coming up to put this crap in your rearview mirror. Ed, you can do it. Hang on. We're going to sign you up for Financial Peace University. We're going to pay for it. And Jeff, been where you are, man. I know how it feels to be scared. I can hear it in your voice. You call me anytime. We'll help you. We'll encourage you. We'll yell at you. We'll cheer for you. Whatever it takes to keep you moving, man. This is The Ramsey Show. Christmas, America. Kent Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Jordan is in Greenville, South Carolina. Hi, Jordan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. I owe $11,000 on a car that doesn't run, and I can't afford to fix it, and I really don't know what to do.
Ouch.
Why can't you afford to fix it?
I just don't have the money.
All right, follow-up question. Why don't you have any money?
Well, I am working. It's just a car that I got back in high school, and my parents were getting me the car, but I'm having to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And
how much would it cost to fix?
$10,000.
Who said?
We've got lots of estimates around my area, and it's been to multiple body shops. Really,
so you got in a wreck and didn't have insurance?
No. Basically, they've told me the make and model of my car is not working anymore. Like, they put a bad piston in it, and
you don't go to a body shop for that. That would be a mechanic, not a body shop.
All kinds of mechanics and people.
Okay. So, what do you get? What do you make a year?
Monthly about $1,500 to $1,800.
What do you do?
I'm an interior designer and a chef at a fine dining restaurant.
No, you're a sous chef.
Yes, sous chef. Yes.
Yeah, chefs don't make $1,800. Okay. At fine dining, anyway. So, what are you? 23?
22.
I'm sorry.
22.
22. Okay. Good guess, Dave. Like you've done this before. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you have a roommate, or you live at home?
I live at home.
So you don't have overhead, and you bring in.
No, I don't.
You bring in $1,800 a month. Where does that money go?
I've been paying off my car with it, saving it. I have about $4,500 saved up. I just recently signed up for Financial Peace University, and I'm on baby step 2.
Good for you.
But I still owe $11,000.
And is that your only debt? Is your car?
I have $1,000 in medical bills.
Okay, good. Okay. And you're working a lot.
Yes.
And not making any money.
No.
The life of a chef, a sous chef. Okay.
Yeah, and an assistant.
Yeah. Are you putting in more than 40 hours?
I'm not sure because.
How are you getting to work?
I think I'm borrowing my mom's car right now because her and my stepdad work at the same job.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like you've got a wonderful support system. You've got a place to live while you fight your way through this, and you've just got a horrible car situation. You're being very smart. You're taking a class on how to handle money. Very smart. You saved up $4,500. Very smart. So the weak spot in your story, me looking in from the outside, is your income. You don't make any money.
Yeah.
So is your dream to be a fine dining chef?
No, I went to school for interior design, and when I got out of school, I instantly went into a design company where I am now the designer's assistant. But
and that's your day job?
She cannot pay me. Yes.
And what do you make? What do you make at that?
$15 an hour. It's the same amount, but that is under the table because I'm just her assistant. Like, she works by herself.
Okay. So 2 different areas of your life we've got to work on. Your long-term play is you need a path for interior design that's not $15 part-time under the table.
I did get my degree in interior design.
Okay, great. So you're completely underpaid and underemployed there. And in addition to that, your other job is an underpaid job as well, just by the nature of what it is. And so what we've got to do is we got to get your day job cooking better, much better interior design day job, and a much better night job. And sous chef's not it, because you need $3,000-4,000 a month coming in, and you can solve this problem real quick.
Yeah.
But you're starving to death.
Yeah.
So let's work on the 2 sides of your career. Go get a much better part-time job than sous chef. Sous chef's not your dream anyway. It's hard freaking work. It's hot back there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some of the hardest, thankless jobs. The chef gets all the credit, and you do all the work. And most sous chefs are chef wannabes, and it's their dream to be a big-time chef. You don't even want to do that, and so with that in mind, that job sucks completely.
I have a passion for it.
I know, but you need to go do something where you make some money, kiddo.
That's right. And
now,
raise your sights in the interior design side of things. You've got a degree. You've got some experience. You're very creative as a sous chef. All that creativity is what you love. But Dave's right. You've got to say, if I've got to go work for a construction company and stage rooms, I'm going to do that for a season.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's good money doing that.
That's right. Why? Because we want to get out of this financial hole. The good news is you're off and running on the baby steps. So glad you're doing that. But we're going to make the move right now to get stable in the now, and you're not in any way forfeiting your dream of interior design. So that's the key. You can always get back to that, but right now we've got to get more money coming in. That's going to change everything for you.
Yeah, I want you to go pick up 3 jobs, a new interior design job that's 1,000 times better than the one you got, and 2 part-time jobs that pay big money. And I want you to work all the time and get you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month coming in. And all of a sudden, this car issue will evaporate. And by the way, I'm not buying that you owe $11,000 on a car that needs $10,000 worth of repairs.
I don't either.
I'm just an old redneck that turns wrenches, and so don't believe it. I just don't believe it. And so I think there's something else to do here. You may want to junk the car and get what you can get for it with a little bit of work, but you probably get $3,000 or $4,000 for anything that's running. And then just talk to the bank about you paying the difference, and then work your way through that, and go get you a junker car, a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 car that you pay cash for. Then start working your debts off. But you've got to work twice as much as you're working at much better jobs. That's the solution to your situation. And I need to hear more of a roar in your voice. You sound really, really, really like you're 16. I want you to go, get after it, kiddo. You've got some skills. And all this stuff keeps happening to you. And I want you to rise up and go happen to this stuff. You got some stuff. You can go do this.
I agree. You know what? Here's a practical example of that Dave's giving you here. Listen, get your dad or your uncle or friends that know some good old boy that's been working on cars for longer than you've been alive times 3 and have him look at it. Let's really dive into this thing. That's taking some action.
Yeah. You got to happen to these things. You've kind of accepted one job, accepted another. No, you need to go get some stuff. And that's going to put you in this situation. You need income is what you need bad, and you need a better solution on the car than $10,000 to fix it. You know, get it limping, get it sold, get out from under it, move on to the next thing, get your $3,000 car to drive. This is the Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life, your money, your job. A lot of job questions today. Blinds.com is our question of the day. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Even if you mismeasure, you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your blinds for free. Free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Jeff in Michigan. I work at my dream engineering job, and I'm an expert in my field. I enjoy being on the manufacturing side of things because I'm closer to the product, which gives me a deeper grasp into the industry. This company loves to promote from within, so within the next couple of years, it is more than likely they will send me to corporate to learn from them. This scares me. Most of that staff doesn't even know what our products look like. They're more about data analytics. Is it a bad move to decline a great promotion? I make $80,000 with potential to make $100,000, but the new job would put me in the $120,000 range. Well, Jeff, I think that you need to just walk forward and listen. You're not having to decide right now. This question is honestly too early. You're overthinking it. I think you got some good insight.
Of course he's overthinking it.
I should have seen that, Dave. And this is a case where you've probably heard some things. You may have seen some things. But it's still okay to, if within a couple of years they send you up the line and they begin to talk to you, ask good questions. What are those things that you are concerned about? Can we gain knowledge to verify or clarify? That, okay, what I thought was true, not a good fit for me. Or, you know what? I got some clarity on it, and what I was thinking was not true. So this is keep walking forward.
C, you reconfigure the way they do things, because almost everyone listening thought, it's a good idea for corporate to have a freaking clue about the real product and the real manufacturing floor.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And so maybe we reconfigure where the engineers at corporate don't stay in the ivory tower so dadgum much.
Yeah.
And maybe you're the guy that opens that door and says, hey, guess what I learned when I was down here?
Yeah.
We think you people are bozos. Don't say it that way.
That's right.
But you could learn something by getting on the floor. And so if I take the job, one of the ways I'm going to take the job is I want to be on the floor at least a day a week, at least 3 days a month, because I don't want to lose touch with the product. That concerns me, and I think I'll be a better engineer at corporate if I can maintain my connection with being on the floor.
That's right.
Which, by the way, I think every bit of that's right. I completely agree with that supposition.
Sure. Yeah.
From a business transaction standpoint. And so what you're saying is I don't want to be siloed. I don't want to be stuck in the ivory tower and lose touch with a real job we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant, and I think you could bring that to the discussion, but it's too early to worry about it. Nobody even offers you the job.
Yeah, the old phrase is cross that bridge when we get to it, and I think that Dave is making a great suggestion here on being a part of the solution. Here's what I would say very quick on fear, because I want to apply this to everybody right now who's got kind of a fear-based decision that they're walking through. You just have to ask the question, is fear protecting me? If I get too close to the edge of a cliff and I look over and I get scared, now fear's going, hey, dude, be careful.
Yeah, get out of the interstate. A truck's coming.
Right. But fear could be holding me back. And so let's just own the fear specifically. Write it out. Sit down with it. Is there evidence to prove that the fear is protecting me, or is the fear lying to me and holding me back? It's a great little process to walk through no matter what you're afraid of. So good question.
Here's the thing. Dr. Deloney teaches this, that when you sense fear about something, trepidation, worry about something, anxiety about something, facts are your friend.
That's correct.
Facts. What is the real fact? The fact is nobody's offered you a job yet. That's a fact. The fact is you've only heard one side of this equation. Ken said go investigate, find out what it's really like, not what the rumor mill says. Because corporate rumor mills are the most inaccurate thing out there. So what are the facts? The fact is an 18-wheeler is coming at me. Move! You know? The fact is stove's hot. Don't touch it!
Yep.
What are the facts, not the feelings? And we've spent way too much time in the last 2 decades in America talking about our feelings. We ought to deal with some facts. And then let your feelings decide from there how you feel about the facts. But let's start with facts, because that changes everything. That leads me to something I want to talk to you about. You've got your finger on the pulse of this whole freaking job market that is the weirdest job market I have ever seen in 50 years.
Oh, yeah.
I've been working 50 years.
Oh, yeah.
I started cutting grass when I was 12. I'm 62, okay? But I've been in the workplace 40 years, right? And I've owned a business a lot of that time, of one kind or another. And I've never seen a job market. This is the weirdest dadgum job market. On the one hand, we've got these immoral corporate doobers laying people off just to run their profits up, or because they're scared of what might happen next year. In anticipation of that, they do 10,000 people, put them on the street, right? There's that. There's people leaving their jobs to go take higher pay or work from home, only to find out that they're the first ones laid off, or that they've entered into a toxic culture of some kind or another that's a dadgum mess. And so for $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000 more a year, they went and took a job, and now they regret it. So there's the great resignation followed by the great regret. You got those people. You got the other people being laid off. And at the same time, we've still got a labor shortage.
Yes.
It's the most convoluted, screwed up thing I've ever seen.
Well, you got the fact that you saw the pandemic create 4 million new jobs, okay? And then when the pandemic was over, 4 million people that had left or maybe were laid off or retired during that time didn't come back. So that's created disparity. Plus, you've got 7 million men that are between the age of 25 and 55 who are able to work and are choosing not to work. They are living off of someone, whether that be government benefits
and one piece of
friends
research that we were talking about the other day said they spend 2,000 hours a year on a screen.
Which means they're getting
playing Call of Duty, and they don't know what duty is.
That's right. They're medicating themselves with the dopamine from screens and entertainment in all of its various forms. And instead of getting out there and getting the contribution and the dopamine that comes from, hey, I did something that mattered today. So we have a
work ethic crisis. We have a shortage of labor.
That's right.
We have a values crisis with corporate America dumping people on the street. We have people jumping ship from out of the frying pan into the fire.
That's right.
They leave what they thought was a bad job to get a much better pay, but at a horrible place who treats them like crap. Yep. So I can work from home part-time and get paid for full-time, because everybody that works from home does not work 8 hours. Let me just tell you, okay? You sit on your butt. We know what you're doing. Or you're working 2 of these full-time jobs, which is straight up unethical.
That's professional polygamy, Dave. I coined that term the other day. Professional polygamy.
Working 2 full-time jobs and calling it work from home.
Yeah. You're cheating on both of them.
Professional polygamy.
You got quiet quitting. I decided to come up with my own term, but it's a real thing. You're lying to both companies.
It's career infidelity.
That's it. It is.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Okay.
No, but so here's what's interesting. And I want to give an economic and a money play on this. All of that we just laid out.
So in the middle of that, a person that will work hard and has character, in the middle of all that discombobulation, there's opportunity big time.
Oh, sure. Of course there is. Well, but see, now here's what's interesting. But you got to be careful not to just take the paycheck opportunity.
It's not just a paycheck. I'm saying you could go find a great company at above average pay.
Oh, yeah. And move up.
And have a great career opportunity without working for some bunch of doobers.
That's right.
And but people don't make the decision exclusively on the pay change.
No.
You've got to look at the quality of the leadership team, the situation.
Yeah, so it's the right role.
Because the data is telling us if you're working from home or if you're the last one hired, you're going to be the first ones laid off.
It's absolutely true. That is data-based.
So you are vulnerable if you took a job doing that for more. So you left a regular job in the office, 40 hours and you make $35,000 a year more than you used to make, but you're working from home, your head's the first one on the block.
And here's another factor. Remote workers may be the first to go as they ship jobs overseas. They could pay you from home. They could pay somebody from another country from home. That's a new piece of trend coming your way.
Professional polygamy.
Yeah.
That's why, say that 3 times. You're a Baptist preacher. Oh, my gosh.
I'll take an offering. Watch out.
There we go. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Thank you for joining us, America. Merry Christmas to you. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, and host of The Ken Coleman Show, is my co-host today. And Ken's show specializes in helping you with your career, your work, so we're here to help you with everything you want to talk about today. Gary's going to start us off this hour in Connecticut. Hi, Gary. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Ken. It's a real pleasure and honor to talk to you guys.
You too, sir. What's up?
Well, the wife and I were struggling with how much we can afford to spend on a new home. We've been in our paid-for home for, the last 30 years, and we'd like something a little better, and the real estate market has taken us a little bit by surprise and so forth. And I guess we're just wondering, looking for permission almost of how much money, out of our portfolio could we spend to get a place that would suit our needs better.
What's your current home worth?
Well, I would say right around $300,000.
What's the move-up home? What do you think it'll run?
Well, we wanted to, only go up to like 400, maybe 450, but it looks like we're going to have to spend, up to $500 to $550.
Mm-hmm. And what's your investment portfolio look like? How much money you got?
Well, the retirement accounts have taken a hit, and they're right around, I would say, in the $600,000 range. And then, and we did move. The other thing that we're kind of, freaked out about is that, it seems like in this environment, you got to buy a home and then go back and sell the one that you had. So I've got like, in the neighborhood of like $350,000 in cash type stuff to make that purchase. It was our idea to take the cash in a HELOC that on this home, go out and buy a home, and then sell this one, pay the HELOC off, and then move on.
Okay. Do you have any other assets other than the $600,000?
No, just, about general operating and emergency stuff.
Yeah. How old are you guys?
I'm 65 and my wife is 60.
Okay. And so if you had a $600,000 house and you had $500,000 in investments, is that going to be about right? That's about where you'd land, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'd like to keep it, to like a $500,000 or $550,000
so you're
house.
50% of your net worth. You're going to be a little over a millionaire. Right. You're a little over a millionaire now, and you'll be at about a 50% of that in your property. That's about as high as I'd go. Yeah.
So you'd give me permission to go ahead and do that?
Well, I don't need to give you permission. You're the millionaire.
I guess so.
But yeah, I think. But yeah, if I were in your shoes, would I do that? Yeah, I probably would.
Okay.
And here's the thing: I've got a feeling you guys live fairly frugally, so that the $500,000 or $600,000 that's in investments is probably just going to continue to grow. You're not going to mess with it, right?
No, and the wife works, and she's got a good job. I gave up work.
What I'm saying is, if you don't touch the 600 in 7 years, if it's in good mutual funds, it'll be 1.2 million, and in 7 more years, it'll be 2.4.
Right.
It'll double every 7 years if it's in good mutual funds, making 10%. That's a rule of thumb you can take with a lump sum and always remember that. So, pretty quickly you got a couple $1 million here in your 70s in a paid-for house that's gone from 500 or 600 up to probably $1 million during that time in value as well. So you've done a great job. Way to go. Pretty cool, Ken.
It's amazing. And you sit there and you go, he wants permission. And I always like these calls. And I'm actually throw it back to you because I think a lot of our audience, there's some psychology there. Why is it that when he's in that kind of financial shape, still feels that need for permission? What's behind that?
Well, he's been very wise, and he's a marathoner, not a sprinter. Mm-hmm. He's the tortoise. He's not the hare. And that's how he got to this level.
Yeah.
That's how he got to be a baby steps millionaire, an everyday millionaire. And those guys, they don't take many steps back.
Yeah.
They only take steps forward.
That's right.
Because they're wise and they're careful. And he was, it was just a phrasing, needing my permission. But what he was saying was, is this wise?
Right.
I don't want to take steps back. I don't want to be rash.
Yeah.
Because rash is not something that guy has ever been.
That's true, yeah. A lot of wisdom.
And that's how he got to be a millionaire, by the way. All you rash people bought Bitcoin.
Uh-oh. Too soon, Dave.
That's it. Yeah, and, and invested with Bernie Madoff, and all that kind of stuff. So that's the thing that keeps most people from becoming wealthy is not their inability to earn money and invest it. It's they keep doing stupid butt stuff that sets them back, and they get penalty strokes.
Right.
And the penalty strokes are what kill you, because you jack the ball out of bounds,
mm-hmm.
and then you can't find it. It's in a swamp, and so but it went a long way.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Yeah.
And
so it's a penalty stroke, and that guy doesn't get penalty strokes. He hits down the middle,
right.
Playing golf analogy, right?
Yeah. Oh.
And it's not a real long drive.
Old man golf.
But it's
right down the middle, baby.
Never misses.
By the way, that's Dave, and I'm still playing young man golf, swinging for the fences.
What
Dave is putting it right down the middle.
Did you just say I'm playing old man golf?
No,
is that what you just said that on the radio?
Well, I said you put it right down the middle.
Ken Coleman.
You are like an arcade game many times when I play with you. He gets up there, whack, right down the middle, whack,
I don't
right
even
down
know
the
how
middle.
to play golf. I just started. All right.
No,
Troy.
False humility, folks.
Troy is in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, Troy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I'll just give you the rundown here. I'm 41 years old. I have $186,000 in debt. I got $12,300 in my emergency fund, and my weekly income bring home pay is $600 a week. And the debt is two properties. One is a rental house, and one is my house I'm living in.
What's the rental house
Apparently
worth? What's the rental house worth?
About 75 to 80.
And what do you owe on it?
45.
You're not going to like me. You're too broke to own a rental house. It owns you. You're not making any money. I'd sell that thing. By the time you got vacancy, by the time you got credit problems, by the time you got a heat and air going out, you're not making any money. And you're spending a lot of your dadgum life screwing with this thing. I'd get rid of that. I love rentals, but I don't like them that much. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. #1 best-selling author of the book, Paycheck to Purpose, which, by the way, makes a great Christmas gift at RamseySolutions.com. In case you couldn't tell, debt-free screams are kind of a big deal around here. Folks who stand on this stage doing their debt-free scream are heroes. They choose to live like no one else. Now they're in a position to live and give like no one else. And that's why we've started giving everyone who does their debt-free scream the Live and Give box. It's the toolkit that'll walk out the whole baby steps journey for living and giving like no one else the rest of your life. And now it's not just for debt-free screamers. We're offering it for sale. The Live and Give box has 3 things: the Total Money Makeover book, the Baby Steps Millionaires book, which you should become one, and Financial Peace University for 1 year, all for just $99. By the way, Financial Peace University is usually $99. So that just kind of gives you an idea of the discount. Hey, it's a great deal. If you're debt-free and you want to buy the Live and Give box, keep the Baby Steps Millionaires book, give away the Total Money Makeover book, and go through Financial Peace University or let someone else go through it. You got 3 gifts, 2 gifts, whatever. Keep one for yourself. It's a great idea. Here we go. The Live and Give box at RamseySolutions.com. That's RamseySolutions.com/box. Jordan is with us in Casper, Wyoming. Hi, Jordan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Ken.
Hi.
Hey, what's up? So, Ken, your proximity principle and Resume Template helped my husband go from a QA supervisor to an app developer apprentice in 1 year. So thank you very much.
Wow, that's awesome. How much of a financial bump did he get?
Well, he's only gotten 5 now because it was a lateral transition, but whenever he graduates from the apprenticeship, he should get about 15%.
There we go. All right.
Nice.
Fantastic. Way to go.
Excited. So,
very cool. Thank you for sharing.
So my question is, we are in baby step 5, and I'm wondering how you would advise us to invest for our 2 kids, ages 1 and 4. So my parents have opened and contribute monthly to an UTMA for both of them, and they're also Cherokee Nation citizens and will receive free college on the reservation all the way through their doctorate if they so choose to go that way. So as their parents, how do we invest for them considering their college is covered and they have an UTMA being invested in every month?
Well, all an UTMA is just like a mutual fund account or a savings account that is in their name, and someone sets themselves up as the custodian. So I guess your parents are the custodian of that account. You can do an unlimited number of UTMAs. You're just opening an account in the kid's name. That's all it is. Uniform Transfer to Minors Act. And so you also could do UTMAs if you want. The advantage of the UTMA is the mutual fund being in their name is taxed at their rate, which is much lower than your rate once it starts making some money. And the disadvantage is when they're 21 years old, it's their money. If they're doing cocaine, it's their money. And so we used to laugh at our house, and you can get canceled for this now, but we would laugh at our house and go, and so let the beatings begin, right? So, I mean, you got to raise good kids or you're going to screw them up with this account, right? And so that's the deal. And we used UTMAs when our kids were little because there was no 529s.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't exist. So we just opened mutual funds in their names and grew them for their college funds. And actually, the weird thing was we never ended up using it for college. We just gave it to them after they got married. Well, it was already theirs because they were 21.
Mm-hmm.
And we turned the paperwork over to them so they could find it. But after they got married, and then we just paid for college. We just cash flowed college. But so if they on the Cherokee scholarship thing, if they don't go to college on the reservation, that does not apply, right?
That's correct. So they'd be eligible for various scholarships depending on what they do and what they study. And if they commit to working for the Cherokee Nation, they can also get more money that way, but they would not be fully covered.
Right. Okay. So I just want to I want to put some options that they may choose to go to school if they had money somewhere else. And so I'm going to build some money up. You know, if I'm you can either do a 529 or you can do an UTMA, either one.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing is this, if you did a 529 and then they did go on the reservation, the value of the scholarship can be removed from the 529 tax-free every year.
Okay.
And so whatever the cost of college, let's say it's $10,000 to go to school there a year, tuition, you can pull that out of the 529 without paying any taxes on it, or any kind of scholarships for that matter. If they got scholarships, say, because they had some Cherokee blood of X percentage, right? That would qualify them, by the way, for a lot of different kinds of scholarships that have nothing to do with the Cherokee Nation, but just Native American blood. Over 1/16 will qualify you for a ton of different scholarships. So, because a lot of stuff is aimed at different things like that, minorities of different kinds. So, yeah, it's wonderful. I take advantage of all that. Christina Ellis, she utilized that big time when she went and got $500,000 worth of scholarships. So if they went and got scholarships just because of that, all of that money can be taken out of the 529 also. So these kids have got it made in terms of options. Yeah. And I'm going to probably use the 529 now that I've sat here and talked myself into it because I can get a lot of the money back out. I wouldn't overfund it. I wouldn't put $200,000 in a 529, but I would have 50 to 100 in there.
Okay.
And that way it's growing tax-free, knowing that just about any direction they choose to go, they're going to be able to remove money from there based on the value of the scholarship they go, whatever direction it is. Even if they promise to work back for the nation and the nation paid for school, that's a scholarship.
I love that tax-free provision, and I hope the government leaves it alone, for crying out loud. I really do.
Well, they're not smart enough to figure it out. I mean...
But that is a great provision. I love that.
Brandon is in New York City. Hi, Brandon. How are you?
Hey, Dave and Ken. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. What's up?
So I have a couple things going on. I just want some guidance. My wife and I actually just paid off $180,000 of student loans.
Wow. Way to go.
And thank you. So during that time, paused my investing to try and get it paid off as soon as possible. And so now like I mentioned, we have a couple things going on. I have our first child coming in February.
Yay!
Thank you. And on top of that, our landlords are kind of old, so we're kind of living on borrowed time right now. We're renting still, so we're saving up for a house at the same time. So my question is, I feel like I almost have like a year left in this place. And so I'm looking for guidance on when I should start, contributing back to my retirement again, considering I have basically two other life events that are going on. I have a kid coming in February, and we're trying to save for a house before.
You're debt-free, right?
Not throwing on the street, but...
Are you debt-free?
We're debt-free.
Good for you. The 180 got you clear. Good. Well done. All right. Then you have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, and then you're going to pile up money for a down payment as fast as you can. And in the meantime, you're going to delay starting retirement. We call that baby step 3B, and that's perfectly fine. I wouldn't delay it more than 3 years, and you're not going to.
Okay, so far it's been 2 years, so that's why I'm getting
No. You were delaying it for other reasons for 2 years. I'm talking about delaying it in order to save a down payment.
Yep.
Which starts really now. I mean, that didn't start back in a couple of years ago. You're still paying off debt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's not the equation I'm talking about. I'm talking about once you're debt-free and you have your emergency fund, then I'm going to start saving for my down payment. How long would I delay retirement in order to really beef up the down payment? A maximum of 3 years.
Okay, and that's including the last 2 years?
No, that's starting now, once you have your emergency fund in place. Starting after you're debt-free and after your emergency fund's in place, once you start putting money into the down payment account, that from then on 3 years, and you're not going to do longer than 3 years because you're just talking to me about a year, and so you're not. And you know, if it goes much longer than that, and you want to start up your retirement account later, you can. You got plenty of time. You're going to do both well. Congratulations. It's all going to be good. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Allison and Steven are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Great.
Great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. Where do you guys live? Merry Christmas.
We're from New Jersey.
All right. Good to have you. Fun. Welcome to Nashville. And down here to do a debt-free scream, how much have you paid off?
$138,000.
Love it. And how long did that take?
About 26 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that 2 years?
We started off around 180 plus bonus, and now we're at 250 plus bonus.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm in human resources.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a senior systems administrator for a subsidiary of Nationwide Insurance.
Good for you. Well done, guys. Great careers. Good for you. Fun. What kind of debt was the 138?
It was a combination. We had a credit card, personal loan, 401k loan, student loan. It was everything.
We had a boat.
We had a boat. Yes. That was the big, we sold that and we were able to pay off a lot of debt with that. We made more than what we paid for it, so that was big.
It's a COVID boat.
Yes, a
exactly.
COVID boat. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, there was a moment in time that boats you could do that with,
yes.
like cars went up.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Mississippi flowed backwards. It's like, oh my God. Wow. Hey, good job. What'd the boat sell for?
We sold it for about $28,000.
Okay, good lick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kind of cry just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
We miss it every day.
Yeah,
but
a lot of good memories on it, but this was more important.
But now you make $250,000 a year and you don't have any debt. You can save up and buy one, right?
I'll buy one cash.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they drive better when you don't have payments dragging behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've noticed that myself. Yeah. So cool, guys. All right. So you were kind of normal. You had a bunch of debt. How long y'all been married?
About 5 years.
Okay, and so about halfway into your marriage, about 2.5 years in, you look up and say, Tell me about it. What happened? What got you started on this Ramsey stuff?
So actually, one of my coworkers gave it as a wedding gift. So that was 5 years ago when we.
Yeah, but it was a coaster. It was a coaster on the coffee table.
Yeah. Yes, we
didn't look at it.
We went to Financial Peace. We had a nun who was teaching us at a local church, and we did the whole cut up your credit cards, and we tried, but we weren't fully into it. And then about 2 years ago, we said, all right, let's get back into it. Let's start working on it. And then actually last year, my brother passed away, and it was a reality check to us because we were saying, we were always living life as YOLO. You only live once.
Yeah.
We were going on
Spend it.
vacation, spending money. And then we said, you know what? This is not the life that we want to live. We do want more things. We want a great house. We want to buy a nice house. We want a great life for our daughter. So that was our turning point.
How old is your daughter?
5.
Okay, very good.
Wow. So when you finally decide, okay, this time we're going all in.
Yeah.
I'd love for you
we're going to sell the boat.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, nobody's questioning that commitment.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Tell the audience, what did you do to drive the intensity when you said, all right, we kind of got this thing, now we're all in? What'd that look like?
Well, not going out to eat was a big one.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Only, for special occasions. And we really got into thrifting.
Yeah.
So we were going to thrift stores. We were buying all our clothes from there.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me ask you this, because this is real stuff here. What would you say? And you
You're
may
making
know,
$180,000 buying your clothes at thrift stores. I love you.
Yeah.
How much money were you saving by buying clothes from thrift? I'm just curious.
A lot.
A lot.
All of
Probably
it.
So-
$500-$700 a month.
$500-$700 a month. That's
Yeah.
a big chunk.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still buy thrift clothes?
Oh yeah.
That's the only way we'll do it forever.
That's where you got that hoodie?
That's a life hack.
Yes,
I'm telling you.
thrift store.
You gotta
Yes.
find these wealthy neighborhoods and go to the thrift stores in them. They got great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll be right back. Dave, you handle the rest of this call. I'll be right back.
I mean, garage sales in the rich neighborhood, you get like an $8,000 leather couch for $50 or $60.
Exactly.
I mean, so
Yep.
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yep.
you guys are incredible. Well done.
Thank
Thank
you.
How's it feel to be free?
Feels great.
Yes.
It
It's a
feels-
feeling that we've never really had before.
We're
so.
starting a new life. Really.
Yeah.
It's
When
know,
you sold the boat, did people say, you've lost your... Now that's it. You've
Well,
gone too far.
Well, when I told them I made money on it, they said, "Well, okay, now we understand why you sold it."
But I think they were more upset than we were because they weren't coming on the boat with
Yeah.
us anymore
Yeah.
for free.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it
Nothing
was.
like
Yes.
a friend with a boat or a pickup.
Exactly,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, you freeloaders. All right, when someone says, how do you pay off debt, what do you tell them the key is?
You know, we tell them budget. Was the biggest thing for us. I think we just were watching money come out of our account, didn't really know where it was going, and now I track it down to the penny, and it's really helped out. It's been an eye opener to see where our money goes, and then to see these payments just drop off and be done. And now I'm saving that money, and now all these payments that I had, we had probably 7-8 payments a month. Now we have none.
Yeah.
And it's insane how fast your savings account will grow.
I met a guy many, many years ago. He said one of his goals was to get more mutual fund statements in his mailbox than bills.
Oh, I like that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I want the right kind of mail.
Wow.
So it's a different thing. Yeah, get rid of the bills. You don't, what are we going to do with it? It's a pretty stinking cool thing. So very, very well done, guys. I'm pretty impressed with you. You're amazing heroes. Who was cheering you on other than the two of you?
Our family, my parents, her parents, a couple of friends.
Yeah. But it really was the two of us, getting aligned, and it helped our marriage. And
Yeah, we really got on the same page, and, we never looked back. And
Who gave you financial peace, or what was it, or total money makeover for a wedding gift?
one of my coworkers did.
Oh, you said that. Okay. Did they know you did all this now?
No, they
No.
since then have left the company,
Yeah,
but
and you've
I'm
lost
sure
your-
they'll be watching, so
Yeah,
they'll see me on
now
here.
that you're a YouTube star. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Very good, guys. Very, very good. Hey, we got a copy of Total Money Makeover for you, the Baby Steps Millionaires, and a 1-year membership to Financial Peace. Now you can be that coworker that gives some of it away. The Live and Give bundle, and way to go. Very,
you.
very, very proud of you. Good times. Good times. All right, it's Allison and Steven from Newark, New Jersey. $138,000 paid off in 26 months, making $180 to $250. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
We're debt free.
Well done, you guys. I love it. That is how it's done. Yeah, you have to have an I've had it moment to turn the corner on this. It doesn't work otherwise. And you got to have that moment. And, it's funny. You can kind of go along and be-ish on anything.
Yeah.
Ramsey stuff, hunting your job, hunting a new job, putting up with whatever. But then something happens and the switch flips, and something happens in any time. I mean, I've kind of been a student for 30 years of transformation, of hope. And what happens that causes hope to kick in to the point that you get energized and you're willing to sacrifice.
Yeah. And, you listen to their story, it was the loss of a loved one, a sibling, and you just start to go, okay, life is short, life is precious.
Yep.
And how do I want to live my life? What do I want to be told about me? And, it's funny because you've said for years and years and years and years, decades, if If you live like no one else, later you can live and give like no one else. And you've said things like change your family tree. And if you just get to the root of everything that I think you're saying there, it's really about what kind of life do I want to live? That's in the now. And then what kind of life do I want to lead and leave behind? And I think that's a powerful story from their journey, is that it made them take inventory and say,
yeah,
I don't want to live this way anymore.
There's something existential, like the old motivational speaker used to say, there's 2 dates on your tombstone, the beginning when you're born, the end when you die. Neither one of those matter. What matters is what you do with the dash.
That's it.
What are you going to do with your dash?
So good.
What are you going to do with that dash in between them? That's it. And that's what you're going to be known for. It's not the date of birth or date of death. Neither one. It's what did you do with the dash? And there's something existential about that there's a wake-up call and you finally say, that's it. Yeah. Selling the boat. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 10:12. Hatred stirs up conflict, but love covers over all wrongs. Martin Luther King Jr. said, let no man pull you so low as to hate him. Jacob is with us. Jacob is in Austin, Texas. Hi, Jacob. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure. What's up?
So I actually heard about you about a year ago from my electrician. Him and his wife, they paid off, I think it was $84,000 in about 18 months. So once you told me that, I bought your book, and I'm on baby step 2 right now.
Cool.
So I just want to say thanks for what you're doing. It's awesome.
Thank you.
But I was calling today just for some advice, I guess you would call it. But I'm a project manager here in Austin. We build luxury homes in Austin, and with the market, it's kind of scary with how things are going. We have some unsold homes, they're all specs. But my question is, I love my company, I love who I work for, but I don't have any new starts coming up. So should I sit down and talk with my boss about my future here with the company, or should I, look for other jobs just to cover myself?
So the reason behind this is you feel like you may get laid off because you have no starts in the pipeline?
Yeah, so I've only been here for about a year and 3 months now, and I used to start last year a job, at least one job every 2 months, and I haven't gotten a new start in about, I think, 4 or 5 months now. Right. So they haven't really told me about my future with...
What have you been doing? Or have you got other projects still underway you're wrapping up?
Yeah, I do. So I have 2 more that I'm wrapping up. They will both be done by January.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I think it's both and. I think that not looking to leave, but just looking. It's kind of like, when you get on an airplane and before we all take off, they say, all right, here's where your exits are. I think it's smart to always know, certainly in a situation like this where you're kind of trying to read the tea leaves, to be looking at what an exit strategy would look like. This is just about being prepared. But I would also have the conversation with your leader to say, hey, I just want to talk about a growth plan. I wouldn't go in with a lot of negatives, and assume anything. I would and never want to put your leader on a defensive. You don't want to say things like, well, I'm not going to this and I'm seeing this and I'm worried about this. I just go and go, hey, listen, I want to grow and I love what I'm doing and I love this place. And you said that on this call. So speak, honestly about how you like it, what you like, and say, hey, what does a growth plan look like? And let's just see what the reaction is. You can tell if somebody's kicking the can down the road in front of you. And there might be reasons
Ken,
for
is there a negative of just saying, okay, my projects are running out and I just want to, take a temperature of what's going on. I want to be a good team member.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously noticing that I don't have anything in the pipeline, and what can I do to add value if we don't have stuff in the pipeline?
Yeah, I think I would do a version of that. I think I would say, hey, I'm looking at my starts and I'm looking at our schedule and I'm just wondering what the future looks like. I want to get a good idea of what the short term looks like. And then I also want to talk about growing here.
What can I do to help while we're going through this rough patch?
Yes, I would do that. I would not,
And he might turn around and go, look, you don't get any starts, you're going to be gone. Get ready.
Right.
You know.
Which by the way,
that's real.
That's a good thing. And if a leader will be honest with you like that to say, hey, honestly, Jacob, I don't know. It's 50-50. That's great news because now you can begin to act. So I would do both. I'd have a good conversation, transparent, humble, hungry is what you're trying to posture there. And then I'd be looking for other opportunities so that you're ready.
Yeah, it's, and you never know what'll come of it. It doesn't cost anything to look at the menu.
Nope. No.
You don't have to order. Just look at the menu.
And do not panic, right?
Yeah.
Don't jump. Dave and I were talking about this earlier. Don't panic, and move to a company that may not be a good culture because you're going to regret that.
You don't sound rattled.
Yeah.
And so I think you won't sound rattled when you're meeting with your leader. But if you had 2 job offers in your pocket, you would sound less rattled.
That's right.
When you met with your leader. Because, options give you power. And options give you courage. And not to be cocky or arrogant with your leader, but just, literally what happens, it changes your body language. It changes your voice tone. Mm-hmm. When you're scared, you go up a half an octave. When you're really scared, you go up 2 octaves. And so it could change the way you sit. It changes the way you walk in the room. You're looking over your shoulder, looking for that corporate knife in the back, all that kind of stuff. Speaking of which, Chris is on the line. Chris is in Phoenix. Chris, tell me what in the world is going on there.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I just wanted to ask, should I apply to, or basically my company is offering voluntary layoffs. They're going to mass layoffs right now. So I don't even know if my job is on the line, but I already feel a pull to go ahead and leave my company. I've been needing to
Are they offering severance packages to get you out?
It's just 9 weeks of pay.
What do you make?
$80K.
How long you been there?
Almost 4 years.
What do you do?
Supply chain.
Were you thinking about leaving them before this came about?
Yes.
I'd take the 9 weeks. I'd find something as quick as you can and take the 9 weeks, man. This is not healthy, for you. Because you already were thinking of leaving. You don't know if you're going to get laid off.
Nothing exudes confidence from leadership like paying people to leave.
Right. It's like the announcement, hey, we've got an overbooked flight. We'll give you a $500 voucher if you get off of this flight and wait for the next one. It's a whole different ballgame there. There's an actual advantage and blah, 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 blah. But this is like, there's nothing good about this. So I'd take the deal.
Should I not be scared because I don't have any offers right now? And I don't know when they would
one this week.
Enact it.
You're in supply chain, for God's sakes. You can get an offer within 10 days.
Let's walk through this practically. I understand what you're saying, but no,
how many offers can you get by Christmas?
Well, the deadline's today, so I just want to make sure I'm making the right decision.
Well, yeah,
that would have been nice to know.
Interesting part of the conversation.
Yeah, it would have been nice to know.
I don't have to apply for it, but it's probably going to be the easiest way to make this smooth.
So you would be laid off. So let me ask you this: if you say yes today, are you laid off tomorrow?
Probably 80-20 likely.
All right. And what kind of financial position are you in right now?
We have an emergency fund. I'm not concerned about the finances.
Yeah. By the way, let me just say this. Emergency funds are not to be used for someone who can't go get a job. And if you had to go get a job delivering something until we land the next thing and start getting the 9 weeks, don't touch the emergency fund in this situation because I don't think you need to.
How sure are you can land a supply chain job by the end of January?
I'm very confident by the end of January. I wouldn't say by the end of this month, but by the end of January.
I would say I would give you a 90% probability if you know your stuff, you'd be landing something. Would you agree with that?
I mean, I did find this job in 2 weeks earlier this year, so I'm pretty confident in my ability.
How much is in your emergency fund?
$30K.
And are you married?
Yes.
What does she make?
$90K.
Take the layoff.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right.
$90K, $30K in the bank. You're going to get 9 weeks. You got a 90% probability of landing a new gig by the end of January. Yeah. Take the deal.
Yeah.
All right.
Does that make sense to you? You see the variables?
Yep.
And just, I want to drive a nail in this. Can you live off of your wife's income from a bill standpoint?
Yeah, definitely.
Don't touch the emergency fund.
I can always go work a side hustle if I need to.
Yes, you can. That's right. Don't touch the emergency fund.
There you go. You're the man. That's exactly it. So, Chris, you're not happy there. They're not. They're failing. They're struggling. They're weird. They're whatever they are. Whatever puts you in a position we're asking people to apply to be laid off. I mean, I can't even imagine making this announcement.
I want to know. I wonder if that's fear. It's like, okay, we don't want to actually lay anybody off if we don't have to. Let's see if we can get some volunteers. I think it is.
Firing?
I think it's cowardly firing.
Well, that's quiet firing.
Yeah, it's like
quiet quitting is cowardly quitting.
Let's see if we can get anybody to volunteer. That'll be less awkward. I guess.
I don't know. The whole thing's awkward. Yeah, there you go. Ken Coleman, good job today.
Thank you, sir.
Jenna, Ben, Austin, Zach, and Andrew in the booth. Well done. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.